Families, friends, and honored guests, welcome and thank you for joining us this evening. Before we begin tonight's ceremonies, it is my privilege to ask everyone gathered here to please rise and join in recognizing the men and women whose dedication has shaped the lives of every member of the class of 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, the faculty and staff of Salesianum School. On behalf of the trustees, administration, faculty, and staff of Salesianum School, the class of 2025 warmly welcomes you to the 119th commencement exercises of Salesianum School. As we come to the end of our high school journey, we remember the core beliefs that have guided our time here, and the traditions that remind us each day that we belong to something greater than ourselves. In that spirit, we begin this solemn and joyful ceremony by first honoring God and country.
The direction of intention is a prayer of St. Francis de Sales, reminding us that we are always in the presence of God. It is said before every action at Salesianum, great or small. For over 100 years, every class and meeting, assembly, practice, game, and performance has begun with these sacred words found in your programs. For this group 4 years ago, we started our Salesianum journey with this prayer at freshman orientation. And at this time, we ask that you join us, the class of 2025, as we pray the direction of intention for the final time as Salesianum students. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. My God, give me the grace to perform this action with you and through love for you. In advance, I offer to you all the good that I may do, and accept all the difficulty I may meet therein. St. Francis de Sales, St. Jane de Chantal, Blessed Louis Brisson. Please remain standing and direct your attention to the American flag as Salesianum's Wind Ensemble plays our national anthem.
Why are you alive? It's a big question that most of us have probably thought about at some point, but I'm not sure anyone has a good answer. There's no law of physics or principle of chemistry that says you have to exist. Your body is made of matter, atoms, which themselves aren't alive. Most of these atoms were originally made in supernovae, the hearts of dying stars. And somehow they have come together in this moment in a way that has never been tried before and will never be tried again to create you. A unique miracle, a pile of stardust that has become, in the words of Carl Sagan, a way for the universe to know itself. I'd like to invite all of us in this room, friends, family, teachers, and my brothers, to take a breath and feel the present moment. Breathe in, feel the oxygen fill your lungs, and think about your journey, what it took to get here. Feel the fact that in the present, you exist, a conscious miracle, the peak of evolution on Earth, with a body composed literally from the hearts of dying stars. And I want you to realize and to remember the insane truth that you are alive. You are alive. This crazy, improbable, beautiful experience of life is composed of presence, of little moments, little gifts in which we can choose who we want to be. And you are the only one that will ever experience your life. There will be countless little moments that are yours and yours alone. Moments of sadness, of happiness, of longing, and of love. On some level, I think it's really sad that because of these personal moments, we can't truly share our whole perspective. I will never know what my mother thought as she painted one of her art pieces, or how my father felt smoking a 9-iron onto the green by himself on a Saturday. At the same time, though, it's really beautiful that we all have our own set of moments. What you think, say, and do will only ever be truly known to you, and no one can take that away. Even more beautiful, we can share our moments. Whenever we spend time with others, we create a moment that is ours but theirs, different and the same, creating a fundamental connection. Right now, during our miracle of life created from stardust, we are in a very special moment. It's the culmination of everything we've worked for, finally getting recognized and solidified as we are granted a Salesianum diploma. Everyone in this room has achieved amazing things to get to this moment. Through sports, academic clubs, competitions, and service activities, we have enough accolades to fill our college applications and merit admission to some truly incredible universities. However, I don't think these achievements are what makes our time in this place meaningful. The connections we've made with each other through the shared little moments are what made the last 4 years so important. What I think is special about Salesianum is how we are reminded every day of the beautiful insanity and chaos of our own existence. At the end of freshman orientation, arm in arm with Nick Joya and surrounded by the classmates I now share this moment with, we sang the Alma Mater, which I had just a few hours earlier frantically tried to Google, thinking it was some prayer or something I had forgotten. And in that moment, I felt alive. My sophomore year, in May, at a time where at many schools we would be waiting for the year to end, I remember having our foot on the gas in AP seminar and reading The Crucible. While I could not tell you what happened in that play, I remember laughing with our entire class as Gino Klein read the part of Abigail in the funniest voice imaginable. Surrounded by joy, I felt alive. My junior year, reaching the state semifinals in tennis with Vincent Deloso beside me in a brutally long match, I felt alive. Getting a 2 out of 12 on a physics quiz because I had spent my study sessions laughing with Jack Cordery, I felt alive. This year, debating Mr. Metacucci from big picture topics to small, I discovered an intellectual curiosity and competitiveness for the first time, and I felt alive. Sitting in the front row at the Silent Night game next to Ian Fano and Aidan Moore, screaming as Brady McBride drained a 3, I felt alive, giving gifts to children in our community in an incredible event only possible with the help of every single person in NHS. I felt incredibly proud, and I felt alive. These moments are only a handful of the infinite memories that represent Salesianum. A few of my little moments that have defined my unique experience. And I am sure that if you asked my brothers, every single one has his own collection of moments. During freshman orientation, after winning a state title, opening night of the play, or during just a normal day laughing with friends during flex, where Salesianum helped them feel alive. Salesianum reminds us to reflect on these moments and to consider our blessings. From the Salesian reflections at our school masses, to the thought-provoking questions at the beginning of every prep, to the deep conversations on Encounter and other retreats, this school reminds us to take in the moment. As we leave Salesianum, I think it's important to take the lessons of reflection with us. Think about the times Salesianum made you feel alive, about your favorite moments from the last 4 years. Whatever good made those moments special for you, I want you to be that good for others. Hug a friend at senior week. Make sure a stranger is safe on the street. Support newcomers in your hometown. Choose your moment to spread love and kindness to build a world community like the one here at Salesianum. One of my favorite moments from this year was from my trip on Encounter. In one of my conversations, Mr. Adams, who led my group, said something that really stuck out to me. He said, "Faith isn't like a switch that you turn on. It's a decision you have to make every day, multiple times a day until the day you die." I think this is a great way to think about faith, but it also embodies the lessons Salesianum has taught us. There's no such thing as simply being a good person. Instead, it's a decision you have to make every day, multiple times a day, until the day you die and become stardust once again. You must seize the moments where you can be the good for others, improve your community, and spread love. We will only truly change the world if we decide to be good every single day and pass on the messages of love. Earlier this year, our very own Ben Miller gave one of the best Salesian reflections I've ever heard. He talked about the what-ifs that life holds and how to deal with the uncertainty that the world will surely throw at us. Now, looking forward to the next 4 years and beyond, I get it. I'm scared. What if I can't make friends? What if I can't handle a rigorous engineering program? Or what if I realize engineering isn't for me and I have to restart entirely? What if I can't find an internship or a job, or worse, I find a job and I hate it, getting absolutely no joy or fulfillment from it? What if you aren't happy? What if you don't help anyone? But what if you do? What if you do? What if you make friends, love your classes, and even if they aren't always easy, you push through and find a love of learning? What if, even if you don't always do what you think and you transfer schools or switch majors, you find somewhere you love and you're surrounded by people who love you for who you are? What if you live authentically as yourself and use your calling to help people, making the world a better place? Life will always have uncertainty. There will always be nagging what-ifs and unexpected challenges that pop up along the way. But we know how to handle these challenges because of Salesianum. All the little connections we've made through the little moments we've experienced have given us the ability to turn the what-ifs of life into opportunities. And we know how to persevere through the difficult times that life will surely throw at us. Each day at Salesianum, we've witnessed the greatest miracle of all. We are the universe witnessing itself through human life and connection, the little moments creating a unique experience that shapes who we are today and who we have the capability to become in the future. How lucky are we to be here in this moment, our whole lives ahead of us, with infinite opportunity and power to make the experience we want to make? How lucky are we to be able to help others, to share our gifts with the world, and to live in a Salesian spirituality of generosity and kindness? How lucky are we to have this brotherhood that will support us throughout our lives? So, as we go forward into the possibility to see what life has in store, I want you to seize the moments of love, of service, and gratitude, forging connections to create good in the world. Always, always choose to be good every little moment of every day, and never forget to be grateful for those who help you and give you the ability to succeed. We have been given the ultimate gift to exist at all. We can't answer the question, why are we alive? To even be a thinking, breathing, speaking being made of stardust is a miracle beyond comprehension. What will you do with this gift? How lucky are we to have this possibility? How lucky are we to be alive? Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jude Zerba, Dean of Academics at Salesianum. At this time, we will recognize members of the graduating class for outstanding performance in their studies. I will introduce the chair of each academic department to announce awards for excellence. During the awarding of honors and medals, we ask that all parents and guests hold their applause. We will begin with the chair of the theology department, Mr. Nick Lee.
The Captain Edward F. Bronson Medals for Excellence in Theology. Honorable mention is given to Alonzo Delane, Liam Gillespie, Benjamin Miller. The Bronze Medal is merited by Samuel Gibson. The Silver Medal is merited by James Spock. The Gold Medal is merited by Charles Brecht.
The awards for mathematics will be presented by our chair, Ms. Karen Schuster.
The Reverend George J. Constanzer, OSFS, Memorial Medals for Excellence in Mathematics. Honorable mention is given to Alexander Wang. The Bronze Medal is merited by Jonathan Ransom. The Silver Medal is merited by Michael Guarino. The Gold Medal is merited by Andres Lorenzo.
The awards for English will be presented by Mr. Jeremy Isaac.
The Reverend James B. Donovan, OSFS Memorial Medals for Excellence in English. Honorable mention is given to Jack Cordry and James Spock. The Bronze Medal is merited ex aequo by Nicholas Janetta and Benjamin Miller. The Silver Medal is merited by Michael Guarino. The Gold Medal is merited by Jonathan Ransom. The Medal for Excellence in Journalism and Writing, the Gold Medal is merited by Justin Anderson.
We have multiple awards for science. These will be presented by our chair, Ms. Rebecca Younger.
The Dr. Robert J. Okoniewski Memorial Medals for Excellence in Biology. Honorable mention is given to Grayson Betterly, Ian Fano, Jonathan Ransom, and Luca Rossi. The Bronze Medal is merited by Benjamin Miller. The Silver Medal is merited by Jason Bonner. The Gold Medal is merited by Nicholas Janetta. The Frank and Gertrude Kirsch Medals for Excellence in Chemistry. Honorable mention is given to Jude Stuklik and James Spock. The bronze medal is merited by Luca Rossi. The silver medal is merited by Nicholas Janetta. The gold medal is merited by Michael Guarino. The Paul A. Sullivan Class of 32 Medal for Excellence in Physics. Honorable mention is given to Michael Guarino. The bronze medal is merited by Jack Cordray. The silver medal is merited by Jonathan Ransom. The gold medal is merited by Andreas Lorenzo.
The awards for social studies will be presented by our chair, Mr. Colby Klein.
The Mr. and Mrs. William A. Kenny Memorial Medals for Excellence in Social Studies. Honorable mention is given to Mitchell Cummings, John Grace, Michael Guarino, and Jonathan Ransom. The bronze medal is merited by Nicholas Joya. The silver medal is merited by Justin Anderson. The gold medal is merited by Benjamin Miller.
There are multiple awards for world languages. These will be presented by our chair, Ms. Pavla Osborne.
The medals for excellence in Spanish. Honorable mention is given to Merrick Narves, Zachary Narves, Luca Rossi, Gage Umbriak. The bronze medal is merited ex aequo by Jacob Bass, James Spock. The silver medal is merited ex aequo by Jack Cordery, Andres Lorenzo. The gold medal is merited by Michael Guarino. The medals for excellence in American Sign Language. The silver medal is merited by Mason Taylor. The gold medal is merited by Justin Anderson. The medals for excellence in Latin. Honorable mention is given to Casey Allen. The bronze medal is merited by Michael Ditchkus. The silver medal is merited by Elijah Ikrit. The gold medal is merited by John Dorch.
There are multiple awards for arts and innovation. These will be presented by our chair, Mr. Zachary Roby.
The medals for excellence in the visual arts. The bronze medal is merited by Jack Cordery. The silver medal is merited by Benjamin Katzmeyer. The gold medal is merited by Henry Hollis. The Michael A. Deptula American Institute of Architecture Medals for Excellence in Architecture, Drafting, and Architectural Design. The silver medal is merited by Benjamin Katzmeyer. The gold medal is merited by Brady Mercante. The Laffey McHugh Memorial Medals for Excellence in Computer Science. The bronze medal is merited by Jacob McDermott. The silver medal is merited by Justin Anderson. The gold medal is merited by Michael Guarino.
The awards for performing arts and digital media will be presented by our Director of Arts, Mr. Aaron Bogad.
The Reverend John T. Sprague OSFS Memorial Medals for Excellence in Dramatics. The bronze medal is merited ex aequo by Trevor Bengal, Cameron Cairns. The silver medal is merited by Noah Philibin. The gold medal is merited by Cole Rusidlo. The medals for excellence in the technical aspects of theater, honorable mention given to Andrew Doyle. The Timothy Garbini Memorial Medals for Excellence in Musicianship. Honorable mention is given to Theodore Stipa, Kyle Urban. The bronze medal is merited by Benjamin Miller. The silver medal is merited by Andrew Doyle. The gold medal is merited by Colin McLaughlin. The Daniel Heatherton Memorial Choral Award for Mixed Choir. The silver medal is merited by Noah Philibin. The gold medal is merited by Cole Rusidlo. The medals for excellence in digital media. Honorable mention is given to Nicholas Joya. The bronze medal is merited by Liam Gillespie. The silver medal is merited by Ryan Pennewill. The gold medal is merited by Trevor Bengal.
The awards for physical education will be presented by our chair, Mr. Dennis Walker.
The medals for excellence in physical education. Honorable mention is merited by Aiden Dietrich, John Grace. The bronze medal is merited by Matthew Mahoney. The silver medal is merited by Braden Graham. The gold medal is merited by Brady Smith.
Medals for excellence in athletics will be announced by our assistant principal and athletic director, Ms. Katie Godfrey.
The James M. and Alice B. Reese Memorial Medals for Scholar Athletes honor students for achieving excellence in the classroom as well as their chosen sports over multiple seasons. Honorable mention is given to Ryan Astle, Luke Halsey, Brady Mercanti, and Luca Rossi. The bronze medal is merited by Ethan Walther. The silver medal is merited by Mitchell Cummings. The gold medal is merited by James Spock. The Colonel George H. Seitz Jr. Memorial Medals for Excellence in Athletics is presented for outstanding achievement while representing Salesianum in athletic competition. Honorable mention is given to James Gray, Sebastian Hess, Reed Moss, and Cody Pop. The bronze medal is merited ex aequo by Mitchell Cummings and Aiden Dietrich. The silver medal is merited ex aequo by Tyler Sifa, Luca Pompey, and Cameron Taylor. The gold medal is merited ex aequo by R.J. Johnson and Ethan Walther. In addition to the individuals recognized tonight, the class of 2025 leaves a legacy of excellence in athletics, having been given major contributions to last year's cross-country state championship, wrestling state championship, swimming, ice hockey, and volleyball, with an opportunity to add lacrosse title tomorrow. If our lacrosse team is successful, they would bring home Salesianum's record-setting 200th state championship since the current format was established in 1969. Medals for excellence in student leadership and contributions to the school's mission and culture will be announced by Dean of Students, Mr. Patrick Stepik, and our Assistant Principal and Director of Activities, Father Brian Zumbrum.
The Salesianum Alumni Master Award is presented to the graduating senior, recognized by the faculty and staff, and respected by his peers for moral responsibility and good citizenship. The award is merited by Patrick Dillon.
The November 14th Award commemorates the anniversary of Salesianum's racial desegregation on November 14th, 1950, and is given to the graduating senior who demonstrated a sustained commitment to equity, inclusion, and St. Francis de Sales' vision of a community that is unidiverse, both unified and diverse. The award is merited by Alexander Wang.
The Guido R. Schiavi, Class of 1944 Spirit of Salesianum Award is presented to the student who throughout his career has best exemplified the spirit of Salesianum through participation in extracurricular activities and the support of classmates, and who has embraced our school's motto, "I have taken hold and will never let go." The award is merited by Tanner Williams.
The Tyler Brown Pillar of Service Award is presented to a graduating senior in recognition of outstanding service. Named for the late Tyler Brown of the class of 2016, this award honors a student who has consistently distinguished himself by surpassing the school requirement for service over their 4-year career. The award is merited by Ian Fano.
The Joseph D. Boxler Memorial Award for personal integrity and generosity to others is presented to a student who has distinguished himself as a man uniquely dedicated to his classmates. Joseph Boxler was a junior at Salesianum when he lost his life in a car accident on October 2nd, 2007. His parents, Dan and Dorothy, established this award in his memory to recognize a student who has been a true friend and a Salesian brother in times when it was needed most. The Joseph D. Boxler Memorial Award for personal integrity and generosity to others is presented to Christopher Cobb.
Student council at Salesianum involves an extraordinary commitment of time and service to others, creating opportunities for their classmates to learn, grow, and thrive as Salesian brothers. The Reverend Canon J. Francis Tucker OSFS Memorial Medals for leadership and service to the Salesianum community as a member of the Student Council. This silver medal is merited ex aequo by Jack Cordry, James Degnan, Luca Rossi, Tanner Williams. The gold medal is merited by Mitchell Cummings.
And now, the awards for highest academic ranking over a 4-year period. The highest academic awards given at commencement. The Reverend Robert D. Kenny, OSFS, first president of Salesianum, Bronze Master Award for the students ranking 3rd highest over a 4-year period is merited ex aequo by Nicholas Janetta and Michael Guarino. The James A. Loader, class of 1949, Silver Master Award for the students ranking 2nd highest over a 4-year period is merited ex aequo by Luca Rossi and James Spock. The Reverend Thomas A. Lawless, OSFS Gold Master Award for the student ranking the highest over a 4-year period is merited by Jonathan Ransom. At this time, as the member of the class with the highest academic rank, Jonathan Ransom is asked to come forward to receive his award from our principal, Father Beretta. Please join me now in recognizing this Salesian gentleman who receives his award on the stage in the name of all the students recognized tonight.
The St. Francis de Sales Medal is presented to outstanding seniors from the Catholic high schools of the Diocese of Wilmington. Of the 10 Salesianum seniors chosen to receive this award, 8 were present at this year's convocation on April 30th at Holy Angels Church in Newark and are wearing their medals tonight. I would ask that they stand now to be recognized and to remain standing until I have completed this portion of our awards. Trevor Bengal, Charles Brecht, Christopher Cobb, Aidan Dietrich, Eli Ekret, Ian Fano, Sam Gibson, and Tanner Williams. There are 2 other seniors, both academic standouts, who were unable to attend that night because they were at Salesianum's academic convocation, which the principal scheduled on the same night as the St. Francis de Sales convocation. But since Bishop William Koenig is here and our superintendent, Dr. Lou D'Angelo, are both here tonight, I would ask that they assist me now in presenting those final 2 medals to the recipients who have waited a long time to receive their St. Francis de Sales medals. And with the following seniors, please come forward to accept the award. Jude Stuklik and James Spock. Our next award is unique and will happen at this graduation only, presented in honor of a member of our Board of Trustees who finished his 6-year term this month, my good friend and mentor, Father Jim Dever, OSFS. A close friend of Father Jim's, a graduate of the class of 1987 who has chosen to remain anonymous, reached out with the desire to honor him. This grad entered the workforce after Salesianum because he could not afford to go straight to college. And though those early years were not easy for him, Father Jim was the one constant, offering his attention and friendship. After graduating from college in his 20s and finding great success, Father Jim remains a close friend of this grad. His son Dever is named in Father Jim's honor. This grad writes, "To my Salesian brothers of the class of 2025, to honor Father Jim, I have asked that one of your own be selected by the school in the spirit of true truths that I have learned to receive a scholarship. The first truth, disadvantages and obstacles can often be a blessing in disguise. And the second, never underestimate the impact that your encouragement can have on others." I would now ask the senior being presented with this scholarship award in honor of Oblate Father Jim Dever to please come forward. Eli Ekret. The Vincent J. Kowaleski Memorial Award is presented to the student who best exemplifies the spirit of courage, fortitude, and accomplishment in the face of adversity. There are many, many in this class of 2025 who would be worthy of mention. But I am confident that his classmates and teachers would agree that this student is a true example of facing life's difficulties with Salesian humility, gentleness, optimism, and compassion. Yesterday at Baccalaureate, I spoke of life making sense looking backwards, and the long and sometimes winding journey that many in the class have experienced. This Salesian may be one among many, but his comeback story is hard to forget and captures the authentic and resilient spirit of this entire class. His zeal for his faith and his willingness to share both his struggles and his successes have touched the lives of many. When his name is called, I invite him to join me on stage and receive his award. The Vincent Kowaleski Memorial Award for the class of 2025 is presented to Samuel Gibson.
This evening's ceremony is conducted with the highest of honor to appropriately recognize each member of the class of 2025 and their achievements, and out of respect for all parents and families gathered here. We ask that all hold their applause and recognition so that the name of every member of the class can be read without interruption or distraction. To ensure that all members of the class are recognized, please maintain silence until the class of 2025 has had the opportunity to celebrate. Reed Moss, Robbie Lee Johnson Jr., Ethan Pedro Alvarez, Ryan Christopher Parker, Ethan Matthew Rabiak. Liam James Gillespie. Garrett Julian Lewis. Samuel James Jacobson. Luca Pompey. Cameron Thomas Taylor. Ryan Jared Hearn. Brady Thomas Smith. Trevor Joseph Bengal. Owen Ralph Hall IV. Brian Christopher Dawson II. Cody John Pop. Colin Michael McLaughlin. Justin Louis Celentino. Aiden Christopher Moore. Grayson Robert Betterly. Kyle John Urban. John Francis Grace. Matthew James McSorley. Keegan James McGee. Luke Nathaniel Guzovich. Kyle Patrick Daly.
Gannon Luck Tolmie. Jacob William McDermott. Ian Christopher Fano. Adam Joseph Coulter. Tyler Wade Frampton. Jacob Richard Urban. Brady Thomas McBride. William Robert Newman IV. James Joseph Lai Jr. Lamar DeVell Smith Jr. Noah Ross Mix. Andrew Michael Bagani. Samuel Edmund Gibson. Alexander William Gamble. Anders Connor Stewart. Nicholas James Haggerty. James Richard Philbin III. Ben McCrae Hollis. Henry McCrae Hollis. Cole Patrick Residlow. Noah Andrew Philibin. Andrew Lawrence Doyle. Antonio Noel Thompson. Sean Stephen Melody. Cole Edward Marshall. Brendan John Garrity.
Braden Liam Graham. Vernal Gadiel Gary Ortega. Sebastian Blaze Hess. Jaden Joseph Blyler. Jude Reagan Stuklik. Adam Matthew Zink. James Walter Spock. Eugene Peter Klein III. Nathan Michael Suddy. Jacob Michael Bass. Aiden Stephen Rupp. James Joseph Gray. Charles Steele Songle. Grant Carl Wagner. Benjamin David Katzmeyer. August Jacob Schweiger. Michael Nicholas Minercia. Nicholas Evan Becker. Stanley Christian Marchlick. Andrew Joseph Brown. Theodore Francis Stipa IV. John Dallas Petrillo. Liam Joseph Ireland. John Orazio Arneo. Jackson Gregory Binkowski. Garrett Matthew Curley.
Nicholas Belgrade. Gage Daniel Umbriac. Daniel Jerome Creenan. Zachary Stephen Randolph. Ryan Scott Recitar. William John Baimler. Zachary Brian Alvord. Ethan Scott Levengood. Andrew Philip Palco. Zachary Evan Narvaez. Nicholas William Janetta. John Michael Darsh. Joseph Robert Marchlick III. Michael Vincent Flaherty, Jr., Alexander Joseph Gaynor, Drew Nicholas Caramandi, Jude Francis Zerba, Brady Anthony Mercanti, Gerald Joseph DeStefano III, Tyler Joseph Sifa, Connor Patrick Schechner, Nasir David Logan, Michael Joseph Wheat, Jacob Carter Renz, Dominic James Haggerty, Sean Christopher Kelly,
Cameron James Cairns, Gardner Birch Hall Jr., Thomas Jarek Horseman, Quinlan George Cunningham, Jackson Aaron Gailmore, Angelo Joseph Maloro, Dane Michael Jose, Grady Michael Killian, Jude Samuel Swift, Dominic Vincent Chanusa, Gavin Alessandro Needs, Ryan Michael Pennywell, Nicholas Sebastian Carranza, Ethan Joshua Walther, Aiden Lloyd Lego, Braden Daniel Lisensky, Sean Harrison Randolph, Liam Benjamin Bell, Elijah James Eckert, Michael Anthony Ditchkus, Aiden Christopher Weaver, Leo Connor Pate, Stephen Matthew Zeitler, Paxton Cooper Potts, Logan James Russell, Nicholas Angelo Labono,
John Joseph Donovan, Aiden Miles Miller, Mason Glenn Taylor, Tanner Michael Stepanek, Patrick Michael Williams, Patrick John Dillon, Michael Joseph Deloso, Cole Henry Graham, Samuel Joseph Yarnell, William Edward Switek, Matthew Jacob Mahoney, Connor Joseph Marady, Michael Roger Cool, Anthony Jared Rizzo, Ryan Sarori Clare, Alonzo Edward Delane III, Charles D. Breck, Vincent Paul Deloso, Francisco George Viterbo, Anthony Joseph Manzi, Diego Castillo Hernandez, Nolan Patrick Sweeney, Ryan Patrick Astle, Landon Fox, Merrick Jeffrey Narvaez, Christian Jalen Gray,
Tanner James Pigford, Gabriel Guzman Jimenez, Israel Campos Gallen, Moises Campos Gallen, Henry Brian Murphy, Alexander B. Wang, Michael Chase Gorino, Andrew Patrick Bradley, William Eugene Fasik, Harold Christopher Cobb, Casey Patrick Allen, Alexander Richard Sukumis, Jack Colin Hansen, Zachary Taylor Brelick, Jason David Bonner, Aiden Nicholas Dietrich, Leo Anthony Marini, Bodie Finn Johnbeer, Justin Riley Anderson, Cole Aiden Williams, Michael Patrick Turner, Mason Benjamin Dewar, William Michael Christopher. Gavin Joseph Lisa. Dante Alexander Catalina. Blair James Sambuco.
Luca Matteo Virali. Adam Francis Rizzo. Shiv Thacker. Andres Rafael Lorenzo. Mason Alexander Catania.
Luke William Housey. Jacob Robert Gerard. Benjamin Davis Miller. Luca Joseph Rossi. James Degnan. Tanner Miles Williams. Jack Christopher Cordery. Nicholas John Joya. Julian Nicholas Charandolo.
Jonathan Tyler Ransom, introductory speaker. Mitchell William Cummings, commencement speaker.
Salesianum is accredited by the Middle States Association of Colleges and Schools and recognized by the Delaware Department of Public Instruction. It is my honor and privilege to grant the diploma of the school to the members of the class of 2025 who have successfully completed the required course of studies at Salesianum. Of all the awards and honors presented in this ceremony, none are more important than the Salesianum diploma. This honor indicates not only the fulfillment of academic requirements, but that these young men are part of a living legacy founded by three oblates who in 1903 arrived from overseas to establish a brotherhood that aspires to form Salesian gentlemen prepared by their studies here to become the rising hope of our country, our church, and our world. In keeping with long-standing Salesianum tradition, a single diploma is presented to one graduating senior, who in turn shares it with the class. Families and guests, please hold your applause and follow the lead of the class of 2025 behind me. For this class, the decision of who to select for this honor is best explained by the ritual twice a week at prep when a student is selected by their classmates for recognition. Many academic, athletic, and artistic standouts and state champions are recognized in this fashion. But true to form, this year's Student Council added to this young tradition, often choosing classmates on the simple basis that they are just great guys. In a class of many great guys, I now ask the following senior to come forward and receive the Salesianum diploma on behalf of his Salesian brothers. Brady Anthony Mercante.
In 1945, during World War II, a Japanese boy stood in front of a funeral pyre with his little brother on his back. He was there cremating him. When a soldier saw the boy's lips bleeding from how tightly he was biting them, fighting back tears, he stepped forward and offered to carry the burden for the boy. The young child replied, "He's not heavy, he's my brother." That same saying, inspired by a little boy, is popular amongst all soldiers in combat. When there is a fallen or wounded comrade in war, the men to the left and right carry his weight. He's never a burden, he's their brother. And although this isn't war, growing up is its own battle. And in the tough times, we all rely on each other for emotional and moral support. Like soldiers, we face challenges at home, in the classroom, on the field, but we help each other out along the way. It's not because we have to, we choose to. He's our brother. Boys often grow up learning to suppress their emotions, to hide them from people so they appear strong rather than soft. Not here. Because after every Mass, a student delivers a Salesian reflection where they are able to be vulnerable and express their true feelings. And when they are done, they are met by 1,000 kids giving them a standing ovation. You experienced it last night at Baccalaureate after Tana's reflection. We learn here that being strong means being supportive. It means carrying your brother when he is struggling. It also means allowing yourself to be carried by your brothers. There are students behind me who have battled depression and may still be battling. Maybe in silence, or maybe out loud. Many of these students beat depression and are now peer counselors in our first year having a wellness center. They carried a burden and are now helping others. That is what Salesianum is all about. We stand side by side next to each other and experience life together. Our theme this year, Brothers Unite, is drawn from a quote by St. Francis de Sales. We must not be angry with one another on the way. Rather, we must march on as a band of brothers, united in meekness, peace, and love. In our freshman year, we lost a classmate to suicide, Jaden Earl. He was in many of our classes, and for those of us who didn't get the chance to meet him, he was still our brother. This loss hurt us, but it brought us closer. We started to learn what it means to support one another, talk to one another, and carry one another. To learn the true meaning of the phrase, "He's not heavy, he's my brother." To march as a band of brothers, not in armor, but in faith. Not with weapons, but with love. And to understand that when one of us stumbles, another stands ready to help, not because he must, but because he is his brother. Like many of us in this class, I've carried the memory of other challenges throughout my years at Salesianum. On October 3rd, 2017, a childhood friend of mine, Anthony Penna, passed away as a result of traumatic brain and spinal injuries from a fatal car accident. Seven years earlier, Anthony handed me my first lacrosse stick, introducing me to the game that will shape my life forever. The sport that taught me how to value brotherhood, how to fight for something bigger than myself, and how to play for those besides me and for those who came before us, and how to play for those who can't anymore. I wish I could thank him. Anthony never knew when his last game would be. He never got to graduate. I wear number 15 on my back to carry his legacy, just like the boy who carried his brother. Tomorrow will be my last time I ever wear the gold helmet. The last time I get to play lacrosse with my best friends. And as I march alongside my best friends as a band of brothers, I will play for the people who've been with me through it all. Nothing is as strong as our brotherhood, and I will forever be grateful for my experience at Salesianum. Parents, Mom, Dad, thank you for everything that you do. We appreciate everything that you do for us, even if we don't make it known. Thank you for supporting us when we need you the most. Thank you, moms, for those little notes you would put in our lunchbox in kindergarten. Thank you for dropping off lunch and our iPad when we left ours at home. Thank you, dads, for driving us to years of practices and tournaments. Thank you for being our heroes. We look up to you more than anyone, and we all hope to be like you. Thank you for pushing us to be the best that we can. I can't express how much I and the rest of us appreciate everything that you do for us. Love you, Mom. Love you, Dad. Teachers, coaches, faculty, and staff, thank you for everything that you have done for us the past 4 years. Thank you, Father Bretta and Father Brian, for truly caring about each of us. Thank you, Mr. Adams, for your constant support and dedication. Thank you, Mr. Menacucci and Mr. Lee, for your incredible lectures. Thank you, Coach Healy and Coach Deladon, and all of my coaches for helping me become the person I am today. Thank you all for not just being teachers or coaches, but being our mentors, role models, and friends. Carrying us when we needed it and showing us how to carry others. You challenged us when you saw potential. You believed in us when we may not have believed in ourselves. Your love and dedication helped build our character and put us in the right direction that's best for our future. Thank you for everything. And for my brothers, high school is over. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, all of it is in the past. No more lunch table conversations that make you laugh so hard people look at you funny. No more locker room debates that make you want to punch someone. No more homecomings or proms. No more conversations in the parking lot after school. No more showing up to school and seeing your best friends, dapping them up like it's a sacred ritual. No more student sections or silent night games. No more joking with your favorite teacher like he's your uncle. No more pep rallies or house games. It's all over now. It feels pretty unreal, but all good things have to come to an end. It's hard to realize how much we had until it is now over. So thank you, brothers. Thank you, Noah Mix, for always having a smile on your face. Thank you, Brady McBride and Aiden Lego, for showing me true friendship from such a young age. Thank you, Aiden Dietrich and Gannon Tolmie, for being an inspiration to all of us. Thank you, Chris Cobb, Eli Eckert, Sam Gibson, Garrett Lewis, Sam Jacobson, and Zoe Delane for your vulnerability and stories that you have shared. Thank you, Gavin Needs, for showing us how much the brotherhood means to you. Thank you, Tanner Williams, Luca Rossi, Jack Cordery, and James Degnan for making this year on Student Council so special. Thank you, Jonathan Ransom, Michael Garino, Jimmy Spock, and Andres Lorenzo for motivating all of us to work hard in the classroom. Thank you, TJ Horseman and Will Christopher, for your constant positivity. And if I didn't mention your name, it is only because I have a time limit up here. I am beyond thankful for all of you behind me, and I wouldn't change anything about any of you. You are all the reason why these past 4 years have been so impactful. You are all the reason for all of our successes this year and years before. I couldn't be more grateful for what we have added this year to the long legacy of this brotherhood. It is hard to let go and leave this place, but I wouldn't want to change a single moment. This school is not about the building, but it's about the people that we've met along the way. I am beyond blessed with what this school has been able to give me. seniors, and soon-to-be alumni, always remember the words of our school motto: take hold and never let go. Never forget what we have here, and always hold this place close to your heart. Be proud to be a Salesianum alum. It helped shape us to be the men that we are. Whether we feel ready for the next step after we walk out those doors or not, remember what we have learned here from the first day. Success isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming fully and truly yourself. The world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs more real people who live with purpose, courage, and integrity. So go forward and be who you are, and be that well. My name is Mitch Cummings, and I am the person I am today because of this school. It's hard to leave a place that means so much to us, but it's not about what we are losing. It's about the lessons, the memories, and the spirit of Salesianum that we will carry like a brother on our back until we die. While we may be leaving Salesianum, it will never leave us. Class of 2025, none of you have been too heavy. You've all been my brothers. Thank you, Salesianum, and long live the brotherhood.
Thank you, Mitch. I heard him practice it 2 times, and it still got me, so it was a mistake for me to come up after that one. Everything we accomplish at Salesianum is possible because our faculty and staff are extraordinarily dedicated to your son's personal, academic, and spiritual growth. Please join me in thanking them for their outstanding effort during these 4 years and for their commitment to the growth and well-being of all of our students. A quote from St. Francis of Sales we often say during graduation season is, "Those who stay, go. Those who go, stay." I think I flipped it. Sorry, Francis of Sales. As well as our graduating seniors, several members of our faculty and staff are saying farewell tonight. And I would ask the following departing members of the faculty and staff to please stand and be recognized. First, our Alumni Service Corps members who have been here for 2 years, Mr. Matt Skorup and Mr. Tommy Wirt. Stay standing, hold your applause, stay standing. All right, I'm just giving all the orders now. My siblings said, we knew you'd be a principal someday. Mrs. Mary Evans of our science department, Mr. Cornell Rankin of our world languages department, Mr. Nicholas Maher, Latin teacher, Mr. Bill Greeby of the theology department, who, by the way, has joined the Oblates, the legend Senor Fernando Ramos, who is heading back to Spain, and finally, I saw Kristen Potts here, who left the social studies department. Welcome back. She left a little bit earlier in the year, but I'm glad you're back with us. And finally, Mrs. Ellen Hildenbrand of our theology department, who is hanging it up after more than 40 years in Catholic education, and who back in the day studied at Villanova University with a guy named Bobby Prevost, otherwise known as Leo the 14th. So congratulations to all of our departing teachers, and thank you for your service. right, at this time, I'm going to ask the Rizzo and Stuklik families to come forward and join us on the stage for a special presentation, and ask our president, Dr. Cardis, to join me. That includes the graduates, the just now graduates. Mrs. Rita Rosario came to work at Salesianum in 1969. After her husband passed away, she raised 7 children while her career at Salesianum as secretary to 7 different principals spanned more than 40 years, which means she was running the school for a really long time. Her gentle faithfulness made a difference in the lives of generations of students and staff. She passed away in 2011. The Rita Rosario Memorial Award is given to any family that has sent 4 or more sons to Salesianum on the night of the youngest son's graduation. And we can now add to this award the Rizzo and Stuklik family legacies. I would ask the graduating seniors, parents, older alumni, and brothers to prepare to receive this award now, and all gather here to join me in recognizing Adam and Anthony Rizzo of the class of 2025, their brothers Matt of the class of 2021 and William of 2014, and their parents Bill and Barbara Rizzo, and Jude Stuklik of the class of 2025, his brothers Luke of the class of 2019, Jake of the class of 2017, and Mitch of the class of 2015, their parents Todd and Jackie Stuklik, the last of which is a member of our Arts and Innovation Department. Congratulations to these 2 dedicated families. I said have your mom or dad take the award, and both moms got them, so that's on brand. At Salesianum, we stand on the shoulders of the giants who have gone before us, and in that spirit, I asked seniors a month ago to let me know if there was a special family connection to be recognized. We cannot include all the names that were submitted. There were simply too many, but know that those who will be recognized stand only for a fraction of the many connections that we cherish here at Salesianum. If your name is called, whether you are a graduating senior, a dad, a grandfather, or an uncle, please stand and be recognized. We'll start with a group of seniors: Ian Fano, Ryan Hearn, Sean Kelly, Brady McBride, Luca Rossi, and Brady Smith, whose fathers, Jeff Fano, Sean Hearn, Chris Kelly, Tom McBride, Joe Rossi, and Jeff Smith, were all classmates in Salesianum's class of 1992, 24 years ago. Congratulations. We have 5 seniors: Will Christopher, Michael Kuhl, Jack Hansen, Grady Killian, and Leo Marini, united not by their father's class, but by the fact they have relatives in Salesianum's Hall of Fame. Will Chris's grandfather, Dick Christopher, is the personification of a Salesian gentleman who has become an influential philanthropist after a long and distinguished career in real estate. Grady Killian's grandfather, Vic Zwolak, was a member of Salesianum's class of 1956. Vic is one of Salesianum's most accomplished athletes of all time. He was an Olympian in Tokyo in 1964, an NCAA champion, and a longtime record holder for the fastest mile in Delaware. Leo Marini graduates tonight as the son of Jimmy Marini, class of 1988, and the grandson of the late Dante Marini, class of 1952. Dante was the patriarch of one of Salesianum's most recognizable families and a member of the school's Hall of Fame. Michael Kuhl's grandfather, Rocco Abisinio, is practically synonymous with Salesianum, having been responsible for extraordinary advances in access to education through the endowment and visible capital projects like the Science Center where the class has gathered to learn and Abysinio Stadium where they have gathered to compete. Jack Hansen's grandfather, John Tucker, is a member of the class of 1965, and his great-grandfather, Lieutenant Colonel John Tucker, was a member of the class of 1934. And if that last name got your attention, it's because Jack Hansen's great-great-great-uncle was one of the original 12 students who showed up for school at the converted boarding house at 8th and West Streets on September 1st, 1903, who then went on to become the first American oblate, founded St. Anthony's Parish, became chaplain to the royal family at Monaco. That's the very Reverend Canon J. Francis Tucker, the namesake of Tucker House, which leads me to the question, Jack, how did you end up in Rosario House? Speaking of oblates, Senior Ben Miller is the great-grandnephew of Father Tom McGee, who served as the 14th principal of Salesianum. Father Tom salvaged the copper cross, right here to my right, that sat atop the building at 8th and West, forged it into the processional cross we still use today as a bridge between those two buildings. Father Tom also set the standard that the prayer that unites us as a Salesian family, the direction of intention, was to be said before every single class, meeting, and game. Zach Brelick's father, Michael Brelick Sr., is a member of the great class of 1993. I call that class great because those are the first guys I taught when I was in my rookie year teaching, and they still sent their sons here, which says something. His grandfather, Henry Alyssa, is a member of the class of 1959 and is the rare Salesian not only to have attended both the 8th and West and 18th and Broome schools, but did you know he also had a year at the rarely mentioned third campus at 8th and Adams, when the old school building was so full there was talk of splitting into morning and evening sessions. There's a quintet of seniors, James Degnan, Liam Ireland, Brady Mercante, Jude Zerba, and Will Switek, who are graduating tonight as third-generation Salesians. James' grandfather, Chris Degnan Sr., graduated in 1971. His dad, Chris Degnan Jr., class of 1997, is here tonight. Brady's grandfather and father are both here tonight. Richard Mercante is a member of the class of 1964, and his dad, Rob Mercante, in 1994. Both of these families were at Kid Shalene's last night, by the way. Liam's grandfather, Terry Ireland, is a member of Salesianum's class of 1963, and his father, Dave Ireland, graduated 30 years later in 1993. Dave also my first class teaching. Will Switek's grandfather, Ed Switek Jr., graduated from Salesianum in 1968, and his dad, Eddie Switek III, graduated in 1995. Tonight, Will is wearing the same class ring that both his dad and grandfather wore before him. Will also gets the nod for the latest legacy submission. After a dozen in-person reminders from me personally to the class starting on May 1st, Will emailed me this morning at 10:23 a.m. And in classic class of 2025 fashion, Will wrote, "Hello, Father Beretta. I know I'm kind of late, but..." Come on, bro. The Zerba surname is known far and wide in this community, in large part because of Jude's father, Jude Sr., class of 1996, and his uncle, known as Doc Joe, of the class of 1987, who are both on staff here at Salesianum. Their father, Jude's grandfather, is Joe Zerba from the legendary class of 1960. Where is Joe? There he is. If you don't know him by simply Joe, you might know him better by his nickname, the Polish Godfather. Gene Bradley and John Zaruba were classmates in Salesianum's class of 1967. Their grandsons, Nick Joya and Dominic Haggerty, graduate here together tonight. Jude Stuklich's grandfather, Robert McGowan, was also a member of the class of 1952, and Tanner Pigford's grandfather, Thomas Ward, graduated in 1963. T.J. Horseman's grandfather, Michael Szymanski, hails from the class of 1971. And rounding out the grandfathers, Steele Songel's grandfather, Fran Truskowski, graduated in 1955, 70 years ago tonight, or maybe close. It sounds great, though. This proud alumnus served many years as the school's legal counsel and on the board of trustees, and shared his wisdom with the class of 2025 when we walked to the site of the original school he attended at 8th and West a couple of weeks ago. All right, a little lightning round. Zach and Merrick Narvaez's dad, John Narvaez, is a member of the class of 1986. Nick Haggerty's dad, Michael, is a member of the class of 1987. Zach Randolph's father, John Randolph, is a member of the class of 1990. Leo Pate's dad, Steve Pate, graduated in 1991. Mike Flaherty's dad, Mike Flaherty Sr., taught by me during my first tour of duty at Salesianum, graduated in 1994. Tyler Sifa's father, Andrew Sifa, graduated in 96. And Brendan Garrity's dad, Matt Garrity, graduated in 1997. August Schweiger becomes the 15th member of his family to graduate tonight, joining his father, Mark, from the class of 1995, and a host of cousins and uncles, many of whom went on to serve their country in the armed forces and their communities in law enforcement. And not to be outdone, Danny Creenan becomes the 18th member of his family to graduate from Salesianum tonight. Danny's father, Carl, is a member of the class of 1985 and is also the school's architect who helps shape this great building we get to work and study in every day. Danny is the final chapter in a Creenan legacy that stretches all the way back to 1925 when his great uncle James Quinn graduated. Thus, tonight marks the end of 100 years of Creenans at Salesianum. Thank you to all our legacies. I would now ask Dr. Kardish and the members of the class of 2025 Student Council to come forward to assist with a special presentation. You may have been wondering who the slightly, let's say, more experienced guys in white tuxes in the front row, who they may be and what they are doing here. There's another family joining us tonight, united not by blood, but by the bonds of true brotherhood. Fleeing the growing crackdown of Castro's revolution in the early 60s, many Cuban parents sent more than 14,000 unaccompanied children to the United States as part of Operation Pedro Pan, a State Department initiative in partnership with Catholic School Services in Southern Florida. From 1961 through 1966, Salesianum hosted 42 students who came to the U.S. as part of Operation Pedro Pan. They lived at 1300 North Broome Street in what became affectionately known as Casa de Salas. The late Father Jim Byrne, a newly ordained oblate priest who spoke Spanish fluently, was put in charge of this operation at age 27 with less than 24 hours notice or warning, but became a father figure in spite of it all to the unique brotherhood that formed at the Casa. Ours has long been a school that gathers students from different backgrounds and neighborhoods, but the arrival of the Pedro Pan boys merely expanded the definition of background and neighborhood as never before. Individually, their stories are the stories of Salesianum, stories still reflected here in the faces of the class of 2025 behind me. Tenacity, patience, gentle strength, and above all else, humility. Tonight, we welcome them home with a special purpose. Several of these Salesian brothers with us tonight lived at the Casa and attended classes at Salesianum, but because their siblings or parents arrived later in different parts of the U.S., they left us before completing their Salesianum journey to attend and graduate from school elsewhere, and did not have a chance to sit in the bleachers behind me and graduate. We're joined tonight by the families of the late Hector Garcia, Ricardo Fernandez, and Frank Figueroa, whose children will receive diplomas on behalf of their late fathers after the ceremony. Would those families of these three Salesians please stand now and be recognized? And at this time, I would ask the 5 Salesian brothers from Casa de Sales here in their tuxes to join us on stage so we can finally recognize them more than 60 years later with the greatest of all homecoming gifts. Would the following Salesian brothers please join us on the stage to receive from members of your honorary class your Salesianum diploma. As I call your names, please come forward. Jose Perez, Tomas Molina, Armando Otero, Jose Fagundo, and Carlos Cotto. Because everybody can sit now. Finally, although every graduate receives the honor of a Salesianum diploma, each year the Provincial Medal of Honor is given to the graduating senior who, in the judgment of the faculty, staff, and oblate community, best exemplifies the spirit of St. Francis de Sales. Our patron saint taught and lived the Christian faith like few others. His simple motto, "Live Jesus," is a reminder of our vocation to imitate our Savior in all actions, great and small, by being who we are and striving to be that person well. The Provincial Medal of Honor is granted to the senior recognized as possessing the qualities of gentleness, humility, charity, and scholarship in the spirit of St. Francis de Sales, the gentleman saint. It is the highest award given at graduation. The Very Reverend Jack Kaloje, OSFS, Provincial Superior of the Wilmington, Philadelphia Province of the Oblates of St. Francis de Sales, along with Dr. Tom Kardish, will now present the Provincial Medal of Honor for the class of 2025 to Aiden Dietrich.
Good evening, family. My name is Tom Kardish, and I'm so very blessed to be the president of Salesianum School. I always say I have the best job in the world, and I do. On behalf of the trustees, our administrators, and the teachers of Salesianum, I'd like to extend the warmest welcome to parents,
mentors, grandparents, brothers, sisters, and all the special people who are responsible for these guys behind me. I recognize that many individuals invested time, love, treasure, and the direction in all of you guys. And the pride we're all feeling tonight is a tangible return on that investment. Once again, speaking of investment, I'd like everybody to give it up one more time for a group seated in front of me, our amazing faculty and staff who poured all their energy and the passion of their vocation into you. I also want to publicly extend my welcome to our brothers from Casa de Salas who have returned to Broome Street to celebrate your time here in the past, and what a wonderful 36 hours we've had. So thank you so much, all of you men, for coming back. Now, class of 2025, gentlemen, you and I arrived at 1800 North Broome Street at exactly the same time. We were all excited, maybe a little nervous, maybe a bit worried we had made the right choice. But here we are 4 years later, having just completed our senior year. I'd like to think the only difference between us is that you're graduating and I'm being held back. But my gray hair suggests otherwise. Reflecting on our first day 4 years ago, that prompted me to think a lot about my own experience in high school. I'm surprised, frankly, at how little I remember, but I do recall with great clarity the relationships and interactions with my classmates, many of whom are still my friends today and have visited me in Sally's from as far away as Louisville, Kentucky. I know that will be true for you as well. I remember my friends so vividly because at the end of the day, they were my best teachers. The pros in my classrooms may have expanded my mind, but it was my friends and my classmates who opened my heart. They held me accountable. They taught me life lessons, and they made me a better person. They made me the man I am today. This being Salesianum, you've learned a tremendous amount across many disciplines. You've soaked up knowledge and experience from your teachers, motivation from your coaches, support from your counselors, and everyone here who has worked to form you into the Salesian gentleman that you'll walk out of here being. But I want you to think about, as you prepare to go out tonight, wonder, what did you learn from your friends? I'll tell you that like Michelangelo in Father Beretta's homilies, I am still learning. And I'm happy to say I learned from you, my classmates at Sally's. I learned that patient and persistent effort yields great results from Reed Moss, the very first person I met at Salesianum. So thank you, Reed. I learned many times over these 4 years how the power of a smile in a crowded hallway can change someone's day. You see, it seemed that every time I was having a tough day or I was lost in my thoughts way too deep, I would suddenly come face to face with Alonzo Delane. And he has one of the best smiles in the world, and it set me right each and every time I bumped into him in the hallway. So thank you, Alonzo. And I hope I continue to learn for my entire life, soaking up Jude Zerba's passion and true expertise for my favorite hobby, fly fishing. Jude, I'll go for a 3-hour ride with you at any time. I really want to thank each and every member of the class of 2025 for welcoming me, a stranger, into their brotherhood, and for holding me accountable each and every day by saying, "Did you pray today?" Okay, we want to get on with this. We have cigars to smoke. So I'll spare you the full litany of all that you taught me. But like how I am with my high school buddies, please know how grateful I am that you have shaped me too. So as you leave these bleachers, men, know that we will all be passionately rooting for you. But also know that we expect you to keep learning and to keep teaching. Never for a second forget that patience is your guide, that your gentleness can help others, and you can lead with compassion, that each of your examples of tenacity can inspire, and that above all else, humility is the greatest educator. Men, God bless you all. Brothers unite. You know it's a special evening when we're joined by our Bishop, William Kading, so I'd invite you to come forward now. Thank you.
Congratulations to the class of 2025, and let us pray. Bless the graduates of Salesianum as they go forth and begin a new chapter in their lives. We praise and thank you for their many gifts and for bringing them to this important day. We praise and thank you for their parents and guardians, faculty and staff, benefactors, and all those whose support has helped to bring them to this moment. Without their goodness, we would not be here today, and remain with them always. As they step forward into the world that awaits, may the full knowledge of your divine presence counter any fears or doubts, strengthen their resolve as modern-day disciples to walk in the footsteps of Jesus. Fill them with your strength. Help them to develop and use their God-given gifts honestly and generously. Guide their feet as they move through life. Protect them from the pitfalls of darkness. Help them to build a world which basks in the light of Jesus Christ. We ask this blessing upon each of them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.